welcome back to Get Out, a podcast about nothing. This is season 2, episode 2. He has to go. He may have killed her.
He may have killed her.
Possibly.
Yeah.
So this is episode 2, season 2. We're talking about the pony remark.
Yes.
I'm very excited.
Oh yeah. It's a good one.
It's a packed-filled episode.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot.
So, before we do that, I want to maybe do our first segment. So something happened at work to me today, and I was laughing about it on the way home, and I was like, this is definitely a moment that would happen in Seinfeld, right? So we'll figure out what to call it, but maybe like Seinfeld in real life or something. I don't know. It can be better than that.
It goes up for the Hall of Nothing.
Yeah, the Hall of Nothing, right? So so I'm a teacher. I'm not going to say where I work or anything crazy like that. But I think this could have happened in any work environment, but it just made me laugh so much. So I get this email from, I work in a high school. So I got this email where the whole staff got the email from one of our administrators. And it said, would the faculty member who removed the oatmeal cream pie from the faculty lounge please either return it or replace it I think it said as soon as possible. Thank you. That was it. That was the email. So
the episode would be called The Email.
Yeah, the email, right? And so from my perspective, I'm like, why did you send an email about an oatmeal cream pie? Like, I get it. I understand maybe that was your dessert for lunch or something, and you're upset about it.
Yeah.
But why? Okay, and to be clear, there's not really our faculty lounge is like a little sad. For the number of faculty that we have in the building, it's small. It's on the bottom floor. Most of the faculty work on the top floor. And there's not, like, we don't have, like, there's one fridge, and I think we have, like, 100 faculty members, right? So it's not really something that gets used, right? There are a couple of vending machines in there. There are some places to sit and things like that. So I don't think anybody like went into somebody's lunch in the fridge and took out an oatmeal cream pie, because we don't really use the fridge like that, right? Like there's no space for it. So my guess was,
why was it in the fridge?
Well, I don't. That's what I'm thinking of comments being like, people shouldn't take their lunch, and like, yes, obviously, like the oatmeal cream pie thief was in the wrong, right? But I mean, how much does an oatmeal cream pie cost? Like $2.50, something like that. Why are you sending a building-wide email?
You're wasting a lot of time right now.
And it's from an administrator. Like, this is someone who is,
it's an associate.
They're not my boss, right? But they are in a position of power in the building. And why? So that's my perspective on it. But what I was laughing about in the car on the way home today was if somebody, like, let's say George had an oatmeal cream pie, or Jerry even, or Elaine, like any of them, what would their reaction be if somebody took their oatmeal cream pie? And I just know that there would be a whole episode about it.
Yeah. And
right?
Jerry would be like, why would they take it? Who cares about it?
Yeah. So
trust in the cookie.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyways, it really made me chuckle.
That is hilarious.
George would be really mad. Elaine would
Oh,
just be
he
like,
would be furious.
why did they take it?
Right.
And then
But you know
Jerry'd make fun of it.
Yeah. Yes, Jerry would make fun of it. You know, like with Elaine, I'm thinking of like her sub sandwich, you know, the loyalty card. She's so determined to get the sub sandwich. So I feel like if somebody took her oatmeal cream pie, she would be real mad. It's just,
I think for some reason it has to happen to her. I don't know why everybody
think
else
she
because
would hurt them
George's
over it.
reaction to it's really funny, and so is Jerry's. I think the reaction's even
I think-
funnier because they poke fun at her too.
Oh, yeah.
Because she'd be like
I
upset about
bet-
it, and they're like, Elaine is it's just an oatmeal cream pie.
Okay, so here's what the scenario would be. Elaine would leave it in like a bag or something at Jerry's apartment. And she's going to come back later and get it. And then George comes in when Elaine isn't there and is just like, ooh, an oatmeal cream pie, and eats it. And then Elaine goes on this whole thing about who stole the oatmeal cream pie, and nobody wants to tell her who did it. I think that would be the situation.
I think Kramer would eat it. Yeah.
And I
Or
think
Kramer
if
would
she,
eat
gets,
it, yes.
if she gets as upset as she does over a grape, she would lose her shit over an oatmeal cream pie.
Yeah. George would want to eat it and blame somebody, but somebody beat him to it.
Yes.
Mhm.
And George would even take it out of the trash. We know this.
Yes.
So he has no shame.
Yeah.
No shame.
So
Very good
No shame.
scenario.
No shame. No shame.
No shame.
No
Very
shame.
good scenario, Elizabeth, for Seinfeld in real life.
yeah, I mean, it's the first time that I was like, wait a minute, this is honestly 100% a Seinfeld scenario. So I'm sure I'll start noticing more.
Life will do that a lot
Oh, yeah.
anyway.
Mhm.
So it just
Yeah.
we're always like, oh, Seinfeld moment.
We're focusing on it. We will see it more. Yes.
So,
Yeah.
speaking of people getting upset over somewhat silly things, let's talk about the episode.
The
right?
episode.
This is
The pony remark.
The pony remark, right? So, just like a real brief sort of summary of the episode without spoilers. So, Jerry's parents are visiting from Florida, which is great. I love their dynamic.
Oh yeah, they're great.
Especially now we have a new actor playing Jerry's dad named Morty. I did write the actor's name down. We'll get to that.
Yeah,
in
I got
a
it
second.
too.
Yeah, okay. And then Helen,
Uh-huh.
Jerry's mom, who's returning from season 1. So they're visiting from Florida to go to a distant relative's anniversary party. Jerry and George are on a softball team together, so they've got that thing going on. Elaine she doesn't really have like her own plot happening
She's just an
in
accomplice.
this episode. She's an accomplice. Yeah, and then at the end, she does kind of have her own thing.
Yeah,
And then
That's a good
Kramer,
point.
I guess he does show up. He's doing some apartment renovation, so we'll get to that. But the first, the episode opens with Jerry's parents. Oh no, I scrolled up too far in my notes. Jerry's parents. It starts with stand up number 1. It's talking about in-laws, or how it's the law for 60 plus people to move to Florida.
Yes.
When you turn 60, you got to go down south.
Gotta go. It's the law.
Yeah.
White shoes, white pants, white jacket. Let's go. Get in the trunk.
Put
Big
down that snow
tires,
shovel.
low and low.
Put down the snow shovel. Feels good.
Yeah, which is, I think,
But yeah, it's almost like a thing. Yeah, you just get older and then you just go to Florida.
I remember growing up, Mom was always like, she loved Seinfeld, but she'd be irked
Uh-huh.
sometimes because Jerry was always talking mad crap about Florida.
Yeah, and the radio station that was local here just was so ripping on him all the time. They didn't particularly care for Jerry. And I'd be defending him, but also defending my state, Back then, it was a lot different to defend it than it kind of is now.
True.
So I would definitely be for Jerry
Yeah.
if
People haven't stopped making fun of Florida since.
So, and then the other line, you want to talk about the other line that he said about his intrusive thoughts during family gatherings? Like, what would happen if I just jumped out this window?
Yeah, so
Right?
Larry David talked
Yeah.
about he always was just like thinking for the show, and he was like, and this is on the Notes About Nothing or whatever, some of the backstage stuff or behind the scenes, and he was like, what is the most antisocial stuff I can come up with? And that's what he wrote in.
Mm-hmm.
So Jerry's monologue is just like, I like that, how he's just always like, everywhere he's at, he's just taking the piss out of it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter where it is.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm here. So
yeah, and we're learning more about Jerry's character, right? Like he likes his family, right? His parents are nice, but he's very happy with the distance that they have, right? They live in Florida.
You've got to have a buffer zone.
You got to have a buffer zone.
Yeah, a buffer zone, right? Okay. So then we cut to the apartment. Helen, Jerry's mom, is criticizing Morty's checked jacket, right? How can you go to a party with this jacket, right? The new actor who plays Morty is named Barney Martin.
That's right.
There's
Speaking of Barney's jacket in this episode,
Yeah.
he's playing Morty, right? What did you guys think of his jacket? What do you guys think? 50-year anniversary.
I mean, for me, it's always about what is it paired with, right? So, like,
Yeah, it really is about that.
Well, we see him later. I can't
Right, I
remember
don't
if he actually wears
I
it.
didn't pay enough attention.
Because what happens later at the dinner, that's what obviously everybody talks about. We
the
don't
focus
really think
is
about
we don't really look at
what he's wearing.
Morty really.
That's interesting. We should have. That's
Yeah.
cool. All right.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I don't think the jacket is tasteful for what it is at that time. I don't think it's.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Helen,
Yeah.
and then you have Helen. She says, "Hey, Morty." She's the one giving him grief over it. But I have a feeling she would have said something before they left about, "Hey, make sure you bring this or have this to wear for
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know. So
Okay.
I'm just trying to see what what's the. So what do you guys think? You know?
Yeah. So then Jerry gets home. He played in a softball game. He had some really great plays. He says it's the greatest moment of my life, which is interesting.
Single greatest moment of my life. And his mom thought that was absurd.
This is the greatest moment of your life? A game? I love Helen.
Yeah, she's true.
I do too.
Interesting trivia fact about Jerry's dad. He invented the beltless trench coat.
Which they start talking about now.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
We get his. We get
And
Morty's
more of
boss
it later. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Morty's boss, Harry Fleming, and Morty used to work for him. And we'll hear a lot more about that actually. A few seasons from now.
So maybe next time we talk about it, I'll try and find a picture of a beltless trench coat. Because in my head, I can't really picture it at all. Like a trench coat.
It's just got buttons instead of a.
Just buttons?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it just, you just wear it or you button it.
Okay. When asked for his opinion on Morty's coat, Jerry says the man's an individualist.
The man is an individualist.
One of the running jacks for our quote. Okay, so we also get a little bit of like insight into Jerry's extended family, right? Because the couple. Oh, right. We need to totally explain this. I'm like skipping way ahead. Okay, so the reason that Helen and Morty are here is because they're going to an anniversary party for Manya and Isaac. And I guess they're on Helen's side of the family, maybe like a great aunt, great uncle situation, something like that. And they're trying to talk Jerry into going, but Jerry's like, I don't know. I have plans with Elaine.
He barely knew him.
Yeah, that like they haven't met super often.
What's my obligation?
Mm-hmm.
Are they even going to know I'm there?
Yeah. Which totally fair.
Yes.
Right? Like
Oh yeah, fair questions. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a good gesture, and I understand that he went.
Yeah.
I probably just would have went because it is a good gesture.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yeah, I get where he's coming from too.
Yeah. And then this is also our first mention of a character named Uncle Leo, who shows up many times in the future. But what I really
hello, Uncle Leo.
What I really laughed about in this episode with Uncle Leo was the cousin Jeffrey bit, because we all have that relative, right? Where somebody else just won't shut up about how amazing this person is. And
yes.
It's always just like, yeah, okay.
He works for the Parks Department.
So Jerry's making fun of Uncle Leo, who is always talking about his son Jeffrey and how amazing he is. We were joking that maybe there could be a spin-off connection between Seinfeld and Parks and Rec, right? Like
we have the New York Parks Department in the 90s run by Jeffrey.
Yeah. I think that would be amazing.
That show would be hilarious.
That would be. I would watch it. That would be awesome.
A little bit of some factoids, some fun.
Yeah.
Len Lesser plays Uncle Leo, and he did his audition, and he read his lines, and they start laughing, and he's like, "Okay, I didn't read anything funny." So he tries again, and it throws him off a little bit.
Funny.
And he just reads it again. And they're laughing. He's like, "Are you guys?" They're like, "They're just laughing at him talking." They're like, pretty much you got the job like that.
Yeah, because you're just funny. Just talking is funny with you.
If you make Larry and Jerry laugh, you're good. Like you're in. That's it. Make them laugh. You're straight. So, Cal, real fast. Cal is Jerry's dad. He inspired Jerry to become a stand-up comedian.
Oh, you mean like the real Jerry?
The real Jerry.
I was confused.
The real Jerry. It's Morty, right? But IRL.
Okay, Cal.
So Cal, he helps Jerry, find it and hone it.
Which
and
he says in the notes,
had a lot of support for pretty much the whole time. They were just like, okay, and then he did it.
That's
cool. And he likes making people laugh because he's like, oh, I can do that. All right, because he was like, I couldn't really do a lot of other stuff. So,
interesting.
Make them laugh.
Okay, cool. Okay, so it's kind of left, like, we don't know if Jerry's going to go to the party yet or not. Kramer, do we have an entrance count?
This is entrance number 12. There was a entrance toward the last part of our last episode, and we did not mention it on air.
Okay.
And 11 has happened. You're not crazy. We're at 12. No.
So, so Kramer has got a thing. Yeah, the levels. Which, to be honest, the levels don't sound that comfortable, right?
Morty says that too. He's like, "You're not gonna be comfortable." Like, oh, I'll be comfortable.
I'll be comfortable. So,
which you hear again later in the pilot episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
They do all these lines later when they're trying out for the.
Okay. So Kramer is renovating his apartment.
No, he's not.
Not even renovating.
He didn't even start.
He's levels, Jerry.
He's talking about renovating. That's about as far as
ancient Egypt. How is that? Levels, ancient Egypt.
Like pyramids.
So
maybe like step.
It's Kramer. No, but
he says then he's like they're going to be carpeted, and I'm like, that's not. I don't know. That's so much to vacuum. And pillows, carpet, and
he needs a lot of pillows. Pillows are important.
Where are the pillows gonna go? If it's like
Jerry's instantly just no, you're not.
I guess is he gonna make it into a loft situation? I don't know.
Jerry already has no faith in Kramer.
Morty's kind of playing along with Kramer. He's like, okay, how are you gonna do this? He's being serious. Jerry's like, no.
Yeah.
Like right away, he's like, I don't want to talk about this.
Yeah.
Like he's just not interested at all. Like he's like.
So I don't remember the order of things.
So yes, because
make a bet.
So mom's all right. So we're trying to remember the order of things, right? So we have Jerry's telling Kramer and Morty, or sorry, Jerry and Morty.
Yeah.
And then does Jerry say like I think he says,
he's
how long do you think this is going to take to do this?
Yeah, by the end of the month.
Maybe Morty says that. I don't know who asked Kramer that, but Kramer says, "Oh, by the end of the month." And then Jerry's like, "I'll give you to the end of the year," and bets him that he won't do it by the end of the month.
Yeah.
Well, I think he jokingly did it, but then Kramer just bet. We have to bet.
Okay, let's bet. Let's bet a big dinner.
And Helen's over there going, "Please don't let them bet. Please
Yeah.
don't let them bet.
And this is the
That's
first
great.
time we see of Kramer's gambling problems.
Mm-hmm.
But also you could tell even when it came down to it, Jerry was like, I really didn't want to do. I didn't really care that much. Like I was just kind of just, you know.
Because I knew he wasn't gonna. He knew he wasn't
Yeah,
gonna.
he was just talking some shit. He didn't want to
Yeah.
bet him anything. He's like, nah, come on, man. Kramer, you're not gonna.
And
It's okay.
what does Kramer say? He's like, you really think I won't do it? And Jerry, and then here comes the amazing line.
Yeah.
I know that you won't, and I'm positive that you can't. Oh, I messed it up.
Hang on,
I know
got
that you can't, and I'm positive that you won't.
Yep, I know that
That's
you
the truth.
can, and I'm positive that you won't.
I love it. I love it. Jerry gets a little sassy with Kramer.
He does.
I think he would have just enjoyed being.
He'll finish anything he says he'll do. So he already knows Kramer's full of it as far as talking about things, and nothing happens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think Jerry's just going to enjoy just being a jerk a little bit for 5 minutes about it, and that's all he wants.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want to bet. No,
that's all he wants. Just
Giving me some
Whereas
material.
George would
Professor.
like try to sabotage it.
Yes,
right?
or like every day, like Kramer, are you working on it? I'm
Mhm.
gonna antagonize him and call him and
Yeah.
ask Jerry stuff.
Jerry doesn't care. He just made the bet.
He really,
Yeah.
and even then, I don't even think he cared about the bet.
Yeah.
He just wanted to talk shit. So
Okay, so we'll check back in on the levels later in the episode. But then, okay, so now cut to Manya's apartment. The first thing we see is this shot of Jerry and Elaine sitting next to each other, but Elaine is like down here because she's at the kids' table. She's at the short table with the short chair.
yeah, there's like 12, 15 people.
Yeah, there's
like,
a lot. They fit a lot of people in there, which is impressive. And Jerry leans over and it's like, "Are you sure you don't want to switch chairs?" Oh no. I don't remember what she says, but
so she says that, but she just is looking a hole through him.
Yeah,
and is trying because she knows she's in earshot of several relatives, so she's smiling. She's like, "I'm fine."
Right? Yes, that's a very good point.
But you could tell she's like, "This is insane."
Yes.
And I love what Jerry says. He says these peas are bursting with country fresh flavor.
Yeah.
He says it while he's halfway eating it too. Also, I'm just like, I'm trying to is Jerry is he making fun?
Yes, that's what I wanted to talk about because I really feel like
country.
Jerry and Elaine are both little turds through
Snobs.
this whole thing.
Snobs.
If you didn't want to come, then don't come. Like, don't sit and make
especially Elaine.
comments.
Especially Elaine.
Oh,
Like, don't make
absolutely.
sarcastic
Didn't even
comments.
have to go.
Like, it's fine.
I agree.
It's not. They're not like mean.
No, they're not. They're not.
You know,
And most of the older people don't pick up
little
on
shit.
right?
Yeah, they're like the older.
Yeah.
The older, they're kind of ignoring it. I know her Jerry's mom is kind of like side eyeing, like, dude, Jerry.
So like, and then they they mentioned dessert, and Jerry's like, oh no, we have to go, which would be perfect. You can slide on out of there, but then they stay and they keep making smart remarks, and I'm like, even if okay, so spoiler. Manya gets really upset about something and then she dies later. Even if they didn't make the remark that Manya gets upset about, you had an opportunity to leave and you chose to stay and still be the little turds that you were. So at that point, I was like, if I don't want to be somewhere and there's a chance for me to leave,
dip,
I'm out.
Bye.
I had friends over to my apartment, and I was I wasn't the only one at the apartment, right? My roommate was there, but I was tired, and I was like, okay, I'm going to bed, y'all. And they looked at me like, where are you going? And I was like, no, I'm gonna go in my room and lay down. I will leave a social situation if I don't want to be there. Jerry and Elaine don't want to be there, and yet they are staying.
Yeah. And make it worse.
Yes, and they make the situation worse.
They make it worse.
Okay, so before we talk about the remark, we do meet Uncle Leo.
Yeah.
and we hear more about Jeffrey and how he works at the Parks Department, but he works at Central Park, and he does these 2-hour, what is it called? The 2-hour edible foliage tour.
What is going on when I heard the name
amazing.
of this?
Okay, I actually want to meet Jeffrey because that's very impressive, right? To be able to live off of nature in Central Park. It's great. I love
live off of nature in Central Park.
And then Leo, Jerry had mentioned, like, oh, he always grabs my arm.
Yeah.
And Leo does that. He grabs
He's
arm.
very touchy, yes.
Oof,
it is very classic aunt, uncle behavior.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It is.
Okay, so that's happening. It's just fun.
Jerry's trying real hard not to he doesn't even care.
Yeah. Okay. So the title of the episode, the pony remark.
The pony remark.
How do ponies come up? I don't remember.
Jerry brings up hold on. So he brings up
Somebody says that ponies are abnormal animals.
Yeah, but before then, okay, so Helen says so-and-so got married. They have a farm. They have a couple of horses, right? And then Jerry says, what are horses? They're big riding dogs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, Jerry says it like it's a bad thing, but to me, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah.
Oh, it does sound amazing.
Pretty much right. Pretty riding dog.
Yeah. And then Elaine.
Here's where Elaine messes up because she's trying to help and makes it all way worse. Yeah.
Yes.
She actually was not like there was no bad intention.
I don't know who said ponies are abnormal animals. I think it was Jerry.
It sounds like a Jerry line.
Yeah.
Because Elaine chimes in with she brings up like another factoid.
She's the one who says ponies. And yeah, what about ponies?
Oh yeah, fair.
And then she said, I hated those kids that had ponies.
Yeah. I hated every kid who had a pony growing up.
Yep.
Now,
Manya.
already, like, why do you need to be so aggressive about hating kids with ponies? Like, who cares? You don't want to be here. Leave. Just leave, right? But then, poor Manya, their great aunt or whoever she is, she's quite elderly. She
said she had a pony.
I had it right here. I had a pony.
I had a pony.
We all had ponies.
Jerry starts backpedaling and tracking instantly. He's like, "Well, no, I'm sorry. You know, trying everything."
I had pony. My sister had pony.
My cousin had a pony.
My cousin had pony.
Yeah, I love it. And so personally, I feel very like, go Manya. You know, like, yeah, Jerry's he's being an asshole. Call him on it. Like, why are you criticizing? You come to my house and you eat my peas and you criticize my pony.
Yeah, I know, right?
You know, like, how
from like
dare
80
you?
years ago. Yeah.
How dare you?
And I had a pony and I loved him.
Yeah.
And I loved him. Oh, she just loves that pony.
So Manya gets up, she leaves, and Isaac, her husband,
You
says,
can tell
everybody,
he's putting out fires really bad.
He says, enjoy your food or something like that.
She's pretty upset. Yeah.
It's been an emotional day.
Yeah.
Right?
It's fair.
So, okay. Like, you put your foot in your mouth.
But they are, yeah, okay, so yeah.
Okay. Sure. Like, but to me, Jerry says, who figures an immigrant's gonna have a pony? If one of my students said this,
come to a non-pony country.
just that one of the most ignorant, non-curious perspectives to have, right? Like, you don't. I can't. The episode's gonna be too long, anyways. I can't. I have to stop. Like, but it just no. So, but then he has a whole. So one thing I wrote down there's this great shot where he says this line at the dinner table, and it pans around and shows everybody at the dinner table, and they're not laughing, right? And I just loved that moment because it's like he's trying to do stand up there, but nobody laughs, so he doesn't get the reaction.
Well, that's Jerry's defense is like comedy,
right?
And his mom looks like she looks beside herself.
She's mad.
Everybody's just kind of staring, but she's just like, "Are you serious right now?"
Mm-hmm.
Also, real fast for the whole episode of the Pony Remark, Jerry and Larry got writing nominations. So this is the first time they were nominated.
Oh, I missed that. That's amazing.
And that's pretty cool.
Congratulations, because it is great.
I can see because this is like the first everybody knows this episode. So.
Okay, so cut back to the apartment.
We have Kramer entrance number 13.
Yeah.
But I love right here how Morty ends up saying no one likes a kid with a pony. He just still they're still talking about it.
Yeah, no one likes a kid with a pony.
Yeah, and it's just funny that Morty says that. Okay.
That is funny.
I like
so the Seinfelds are getting ready to go home, right? Kramer's in there. He says, no more. Maybe somebody asks him, how are the levels going?
The bets are off. No bet. I'm not.
No more. I'm not going to do it.
Yep.
Then the Seinfelds leave, and that's when Jerry's like, when do I get my dinner?
So also, little fun fact, as right before what you just said, Kramer's telling Helen and Morty bye, and you could tell they got a good relationship right away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jerry's parents visit enough that they know Kramer pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
And Kramer knows them pretty well.
Kramer.
And then Morty calls.
He realized his last name is Kramer.
That's the first time we have a hint that is Kramer's last name.
Not his first name, right?
We have a long time to confirm this.
Yeah.
But fans weren't sure for a while. They didn't know. So,
yep.
That's a good point.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's cool that
they
Morty
thought it was just Kramer. Yeah.
Yeah, Morty knows his name. He knows his real name.
Yeah.
And we won't spoil that. We'll get there. So if you don't know. And so now So now it's just Jerry and Kramer.
Yeah, Jerry and Kramer.
And Kramer pretty much goes, the bet's off because he doesn't want to do it. And then Jerry's like, that's the bet.
Great. When do I get my dinner?
When do I get my
bet
dinner?
is the levels.
The bet's off.
That's the bet.
That's the bet. He goes, yeah.
Kramer's like, no, I decided not to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know. That's what I bet.
You were going to do.
That you wouldn't do it. Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
But Kramer is like, doesn't understand it. Like, he genuinely, you can tell he's not trying to even swindle Jerry. He's like, no, I don't want to do it. Like, he thinks it's all good. And then Jerry also is just like, he doesn't even care either. But Jerry's just like, the whole, like, for spite. He's like, no, I know I want my dinner.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Okay. Yeah. So anyways, they're arguing about that. The phone rings.
Yes.
Oh no. Manya's dead. Right? And so
Manya died.
Yeah, he goes and runs to the window. Come back, don't get in the cab. Manya died. So okay, so they come back upstairs.
Morty instantly, he's like, those tickets are non-refundable. He's just already
he's very upset about the
already knows. Here we go. The buddy's down the toilet now.
Super Saver tickets.
Yeah.
The guilt starts setting in.
Yeah, Jerry, you can tell he's like, oh man,
wait,
like what?
You don't think? Because Helen says, oh, she was healthy. She just had a checkup. You don't think the pony remark? Oh no, right?
The pony.
I killed her.
So what do you guys think? What did he contribute to Manya's death?
Well,
I don't think so. By the way,
okay, every time I watch it, and I'm at this point in the episode, exactly what you just asked her, the same spot.
Mm-hmm.
She just died, and I'm thinking, every time I go, no, he didn't kill her.
Mm-hmm.
And by the end of the episode, I'm like, yeah, I did. Because all they do now is talk about all these things this pony did.
Yeah.
And like how, like, I'm like, you know what? Maybe he did. Like,
so
kill her. I was like, maybe like that.
So then another sort of moment of debate comes up because the funeral's on Wednesday. Jerry's championship softball game is on Wednesday at the same time. Oh no!
Funeral on a Wednesday.
I like Helen. Helen is very real. It's like you have no obligation to go.
Yeah.
It's going to be fine if you don't.
No
Don't worry
one's
about
forcing you. Like,
and that right there would have been perfect, but it's not that funny if it's like that.
Yeah, but who has a funeral on a Wednesday?
Funeral on Wednesday.
Okay, so then we go
Ooh,
to
man.
Stand Up 2,
Yep.
where he has a little line about why do we give dead people pillows?
Yep.
Right?
Oh, that's so funny. I love that. That's so
Dress them
funny.
up to do like a
Yeah,
spy
in a
mission or to go
suit.
to sleep. Yep.
Yeah.
Put him in a suit.
funny.
Yeah.
I put finally here. So we have George screws Jerry one time. And really since then, I don't have a definitive cast character screws cast character until now. Elaine screws Jerry, number 1. I think this is that episode where, you know what? Yeah, sorry, Elaine. You probably got one on your dock now.
Mm-hmm.
So Elaine screwed Jerry numero uno. Because, the whole thing was just, really, it's her
Elaine's
fault.
like, but I actually like ponies.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So as a general thing with the whole pony remark, I blame Elaine.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
not like
Elaine's
full on, like I kind of don't care, but like I think she screwed Jerry. So like it's inadvertent, but yeah. I think that's
I
So
think that's fair.
we're at
Yeah.
2 now, one from Jerry. I mean, one from George and one from Elaine. So
Okay. So they're just going back and forth, talking about, lots of different aspects of their anxiety. George has a line where he's like, I cannot envision any situation in which I have sex ever again.
Yeah.
Right? Like
that would be the title of the
sure.
episode if I could help it.
How's it going
Best
to
title.
occur?
That is the best title / shirt I've ever heard of in my life. It's just too long, but it's the best thing ever.
Yeah. Has nothing to do with
It's
the
so
discussion
great.
at the table.
He's just sitting there
But
casually and just looks at them and goes, I don't think it's gonna happen. And Jerry's like, all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah. Okay.
So
You've come to this conclusion? Yeah, okay. Like
so they're debating whether or not Jerry should go to the funeral or to the softball game. George is on the team with him, so he's like, you got to go to the softball game. Elaine says, oh, I think you better go to the funeral,
I
right?
see what she's coming from.
Yeah, but why? Like, why does she care? It's because
She feels bad.
Yeah, she feels bad.
She feels
And
bad.
then they also start talking about like the superstition of like he needs to make it up to Manya and go to her funeral.
What is she visiting the funeral? Like, to make sure I show up? And George is like, yes, she's
Yeah.
Does
visiting.
people care who's there?
The other thing that gets mentioned is that Isaac, Manya's husband, is now moving to Phoenix, and instantly Elaine is like, oh, what about the apartment?
Yeah, the rent will be like.
He's looking for an apartment.
Yeah, it's a really funny moment. So
He's always on the hunt for an apartment.
So okay, cut to the funeral.
I think Elaine, I think she failed the contest after hearing that news. Yeah, so.
So funeral. They're sitting there very respectfully. All we hear about is, oh, how she loved that pony.
It's just nothing about Manya.
That pony was the pride of Krakow.
Oh my God. I was like little
sitting
Sebastian
in
all
their
over.
chairs at the funeral. They're like, oh my God.
Little
We
pony
don't
remark.
know.
Yeah.
So okay,
We don't know the
That's when you think he did kill her.
I mean,
yes.
because they just put so much and I'm just like, this pony is like a big deal. It's like,
So
I don't know, maybe.
a couple of things happening in this is like the last big scene of the episode. So number one, Elaine is trying to get a chance to talk to Isaac and talk her way into that $300 a month apartment. Then you have Uncle Leo who's pulling, I hate it so much, pulling Jerry away with his elbow, telling him about
Morty's over there. Yeah, Morty.
to Riverside. He's gonna transform it top to bottom.
No, he's not.
Morty's still trying to save money.
I feel bad for Riverside Parks Department. They must.
And then you also have Morty, who is talking
He's
to
still trying to.
another relative who is
Still trying to get death
Medical
certificate. Yeah.
and I guess he's trying to get him to sign something so he can get like free tickets or
He's trying to
'cause
save
I
as much as
remember-
he can for this
Yeah, yeah, something to do with getting cheaper airplane tickets. And
Oh, it cracks me up though. He's
Yeah.
the cousin or whoever it is like, I'm not a doctor yet. I can't sign that. And Morty just keeps like, here, just here's a
scribble
napkin.
something. They just want to see something.
Yeah. So
which is kind of true. Like they're
very
just like,
funny.
all right, cool, whatever, move
Right.
on. Yeah.
Jerry made the right choice, right, to go to the funeral.
Yeah.
Because
it started raining.
Yes.
And he didn't miss the
it
game.
started
anyway.
raining.
So the storm
Right
hits.
call. You imagine
Things
you went to
postponed.
that funeral or went to that game, it starts raining and you could have went, you're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joking about Manya, like as a ghost watching, like
she went to the
I
game.
hope she'll
she
appreciate this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so Elaine does finally get to talk to Isaac. Jerry apologizes. This is where we find out Manya was more upset about the potato salad than the pony.
That's what her husband said.
And then Elaine, she is so ridiculous. She tells Isaac, so Isaac's moving.
He's zoning out.
And he cannot, poor man, he struggles with his hearing. And he's saying like, oh, I'm moving to Phoenix. I can't decide if I should pack my winter clothing. And Elaine says, brilliant idea.
I'll watch him for you.
Let me move into your apartment and leave your winter clothing and I'll make sure nobody bothers. Great idea.
Something else.
It's the most Daisy. Our cat's name's Daisy, and I swear I don't know why. That's just what she'd do. Like
you think that's Daisy?
She would move. She'd be like, "Can I watch you
But
guys?"
she's literally screaming at him at the top of her lungs so he could hear her.
Yeah, maybe one day Daisy will at least make an audible appearance on the podcast. I'm sure.
Yeah, it'll happen at some point.
Yeah.
It has to.
Okay, but who do we find out is
True.
actually moving into the apartment? Cousin Jeffrey, right? Oh, Jeffrey sucks. But in reality, I kind of feel like Jeffrey's the hero, right?
We never meet him. I don't know.
We do eventually see the
Yeah, we
apartment.
never meet him. He
Never
never
meet him.
shows up.
Yeah, there's quite a there's a
we do
very
see where
interesting
he-
called spinoff show that has
We
all
do
these guest characters and stuff in it.
Yeah,
Yeah, we see where he lives though, because he goes there eventually.
yeah.
So I don't know if it's the same one or not, but it's
Okay.
yeah.
So then,
He
wrapping the episode up, we cut back to the diner. Becomes clear the softball, they're in like a softball uniform. They lost, right? And apparently Jerry did not have a very good game. This does make me laugh because like George keeps asking questions like, who does that? And then Elaine is like, oh yeah, I was wondering what you were doing, from her position in the audience.
She said she thought the rules changed the way
I
Jerry
was
was
like, why
playing.
did you do that?
Yeah, like I don't. I
Very-
can't
So he was
in my head.
playing really.
Yeah, like how bad. But it's like
Mhm.
hard to. I don't know.
Yeah.
So what I do is just I picture Elaine just dancing, and like that's just I don't know something to do with
Yeah.
that, and then
They go back and forth. Was it Manya? Did she put a hex on us?
Hex, man. That doesn't make up for killing her. That's what Elaine says.
Damn sure doesn't.
Yeah.
I love that line.
So
Oh,
they
I love
lose
that line.
they lose the softball game. And then the episode closes out with the last stand up where again Jerry is hating on ponies. Like I put in my notes #justice for ponies, right? Because what did they do to him? They're fine. Leave the ponies
No, he was
alone.
saying if they were in the police department.
Yeah, well, he's
That's not-
asking, what is the point of ponies?
I mean,
The police don't use them. That's what he says. And I'm like, well, who cares if the police use them? Leave the ponies alone.
What do you have against ponies, Jerry?
last line that's not
We want to know.
as who figured an immigrant will have
Yeah,
a
he
pony?
says that
Yeah.
line again. Who figured an immigrant would have a pony?
He says it twice.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of Jerry in this episode.
But every time he said that, the audience was cracking up.
Yeah.
It is
It's-
so ridiculous how funny and also just absurd that line is.
It
So,
is such a great.
We also so we never talked about the name of our episode.
Oh, yeah.
So when Jerry's contemplating going to the funeral or not, Elaine's like, he has to go. He may have killed her. And it got a big reaction from the audience. It was a very good line.
Yeah.
So that's what we chose for the quote for this episode. It was really hard. And I like it because...
And it'll get harder to pick a quote.
It's really going to get...
We're going to start involving the audience eventually.
Yeah, it's going to get rough. So, but we're okay for now. Actually, behind us, we can see what's the next episode.
The jacket.
It's Elaine's dad comes in.
Oh,
the only time.
Okay.
Master of the house.
Cool.
Master of the house. Anyway, let's watch. You're gonna see.
Okay. All right. I'm excited.
That's George.
I don't
very
remember.
catchy. Every time I watch it, I sing it for days.
Yeah, George, because George's gonna say yeah. You'll see. That's a good joke about how the certain songs would stuck in your head.
Oh, okay.
We'll meet Elaine's dad and how she kind of reacts with her relationship with him, which seems to be mostly positive, but it's still very she's very timid around him.
Okay.
But it's not bad. It's just she's just there's just respect or whatever,
Great, more Elaine.
We'll hear about. I don't know if we hear about her sister in this episode. We might. And then Jerry and her. Yep. Jerry and Elaine, or Jerry. I'm sorry. Jerry and Elaine's dad is also very funny.
Okay.
And also, there's a little bit of George and Jerry and Elaine's dad. That's good stuff.
Okay.
We have that next week. Yep. So the jacket, and also the jacket is actually the focus of the jacket episode is Kramer. It's not,
nice. Okay.
Just Jerry.
Yeah, that's true.
Are going to go on dinner, out to dinner with Elaine. Elaine and her father, and. Yeah, whole thing goes on Kramer. Kind of cool.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah.
All right.
Looking.
Any other bits of trivia?
Not really. I mean, let's see.
Let me see what else I wrote.
Yeah. Keep looking.
Yeah, while they're looking.
I didn't get many.
I
have to get better notes next time on the actual notes.
Yeah, no worries. So yeah, I guess we'll put a poll up this next week, and then also if you tell us in the comments, do you have any real life Seinfeld stories, anything that you think would be funny to talk about? How would the gang respond in this situation? And we could read it on air. We could talk about it.
Absolutely, that'd be great.
Okay.
Also, we'll have more interactive things coming up for our fans, etc. Remember to join us on Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern time, because we will watch the episode as it premieres live. So you can hang out with us during that time.
Yeah.
That'd be a great time for ideas or just for fun, or you want to guest star as well. If you do want to guest star, talk to Mama, hit Mama up, and yeah. So yeah, we're trying to record Tuesdays, and then get a poll up for what's quote to use for the episodes, which is getting harder. And then, whenever the holiday comes up, maybe Valentine's Day we'll do something. I don't know yet.
Okay.
We'll kind of figure it out. We'll have some stuff coming down the pipe, and we'll keep going. This is episode. Ooh, I don't want to lose track of what actually episode we're on.
This is 7,
we're on
right?
7 right now.
This is 7.
7.
Okay.
Cool. That's cool.
Yay.
Look at that. Here we are. 7 later. Yep.
7 weeks in.
7 weeks in. 173 to go. Yeah.
Good job.
All right. Thanks for joining us, y'all. We'll see you next week.
Thank you for coming.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.